I have been running a resume writing business since 2010, which goes by the name of Get Set Resumes. So at Get Set, we have helped I don't know, like countless people in the last 15 years of our business with their resumes, LinkedIn's, bios, and all kinds of professional documents. So anything related to career, we actually have a team that works on it. So, even your immigration documents as well as award citations for awards like, Padma Shri Awards, your Nari Shakti Awards, NRI Awards. So, I mean, quite a lot of experience as far as resumes are concerned, which is what I'm bringing, to this presentation, to this workshop. And I mean, I know a thing or two about resumes. So, basically, that is what I'm trying to tell you. So, you guys can listen to me and you guys can like the tips that I'm going to provide are going to be really beneficial. uh, we in the last few years I have started building a product which is called Resumod. And at Resumod, what we are doing is we are essentially trying to create something where anyone could build their resume on their own. It's a free platform, where you can pay for premium services, but over So, I'll be talking about Resume during this presentation, just to show everybody what it can do for you, how you can benefit from it. We have also started, last year building an ATS software which screens candidates on the basis of a job description and provides recruiters with the best candidates available. I'll give you a quick introduction of how ATSs work through that software as well, so that you get to understand what are recruiters getting, when they see your resume, what kind of information does really get to them. So we'll begin. A couple of testimonials, about this workshop. So this is from Parul. So this kind of cake takes the cake because she did something after the workshop that immediately got her some calls. So which is surprising as well for me too. But nonetheless, I think something worked, and from for the audience that is present here, I'm pretty sure if you follow the advice, something will happen, positively. This is another testimonial from somebody who liked the workshop a lot. Uh, just sharing these to tell you that the entire workshop is structured in a way that it is guaranteed to help you. All right, only if you are able to take the advice and obviously tweak it, in the right context, which suits your profile and your career journey. With that said, no, I'll begin the workshop. So, generally, this is the first thing that I tell everybody. There is this quote by Stephen Covey which says, "I'm not a product of my circumstances, I'm a product of my decisions." Now, the entire career break thing, which all of us go through, is something that does affect our confidence. It does uh, have a good impact on our own professional growth, because we see others, who did not go for a career break, or who had a different kind of a support system, and in a way were able to create better professional journeys than us. So in that respect, when we go for interviews, there is this guilt inside us that prompts us to feel a little overwhelmed, a little guilty, that if this career break had not happened, I might have been a different person. The reality, on the other hand, is that the career break, for whatever reason it was, it changed you. It made you a better individual, more mature, more understanding, definitely more patient, right? So when you are facing somebody, whether it is on the interview table or it is outside the interview table, you need to own up your career break. You don't have to hide it. We've seen a lot of people, hiding career breaks, uh, deciding not to talk about it in the resume, or generally, just staying away from that topic. But that is not correct. All right, you are actually a product of your decisions. Career break has to be owned as a decision that you took, and coming back also has to be owned as a decision that you're taking. All right, if you don't do that, essentially the employer will start feeling that this person either is shy or ashamed of the break that they took, or they are not in control of their life. The fact that you're not wanting to talk about it means that you did not want the career break and somebody else forced it upon you, which means that it can happen again, beyond, and it is beyond your control. So take this first step, that you start talking to yourself. Give yourself this affirmation that this was my decision, coming back is also my choice, and I am a much better individual. As an employer, you're going to get the same professional skills, but in a better mind, a more mature, a more responsible individual, right? With that said, we'll start. So this is the agenda for today. So we're going to talk about career breaks. I'll tell you what is happening around the world. uh, a little bit about how it is shaping and what has changed in the last few years. Then of course we'll talk about resumes, which is the crux of this workshop. So I'll show you 5 resume examples from jobs for Harki itself, where people had different reasons for career break and they showed it differently in the resume. I'll also talk about cover letters and LinkedIn profiles, and obviously I'm going to introduce resume to all of you. So why is this session important? So it's very easy to guess that anybody who attends a resume building session has already tried updating their resume, and it has not worked, right? Because you've probably applied to 1,000 jobs, nobody called you, so you are sitting here, right? So this is generally what happens. The problem is that no, people don't understand how recruitment works. Now recruitments don't work on selection, recruitments work on rejection. Okay, there are different stages in recruitment. At none of the stages we are sure about who the right candidate is. Nobody knows anything about selecting the right person for the job. So what we do is we reject all the people who are not fit, and rejection can happen for any reason whatsoever, right? Uh, we basically find a reason to reject anybody who we feel is not good for the job, and then focus on the people who make it to the next round. And this cycle continues till we reach the final stages. Even in the final stages, nobody is sure about who to select, because we don't know how you are going to perform. So we put you on probation, right? And then in the probation, we actually assess whether you are able to do the job or not. So the entire thing is based on rejections, and the maximum rejections happen at the resume stage, right? Because that is where the maximum applications come. So as much as 95% resumes get rejected, right? Depending on which stage of the career you are at. The entry level, this number can be really huge. Okay, because we can't interview everybody, right? So we need to make sure that we interview only the right people for the job. The second problem is that this rejection doesn't happen manually today. This happens through a software, right? It can be an ATS software, it can be some other software. It has to happen through a bot, because at the end of the day, any resume that doesn't fit the job description will get rejected, and nobody tells you, right? If your resume got rejected, nobody is going to send you an email that your resume got rejected, so you never get to know. So the idea is to actually reach the interview table where somebody could actually talk to you, so that you get an idea why you got rejected in the first place, right? At least that is the least that can happen, so that you can improve on it. And obviously on the interview table as well, the resume is important, because that is how all conversations start, right? Tell me about yourself, what is this job about, why did you leave, what happened in the project, right? So your resume, the job of your resume is to not get you rejected, not get you rejected by an ATS, and make sure that it is a conversation starter during interviews, which is what we are going to talk about today. Now, quick introduction. Career break is a very common thing. Everybody takes a career break these days. Not it is not limited to females only. At least not in 2025. And it has become a very mainstream thing after COVID, especially. Right now, everybody in this generation of workforce is actually very keen on taking a break. Look, so we have resumes where after every job there is a 6 month break, and people are really not even guilty. Like, forget guilty, they put you in guilt, because if you ask that question, so they're absolutely okay with it. And as employers, we are also becoming sensitized that okay, it's okay to have a career break as long as there is a decent period in which the person has worked. The problem is that if the career break is not portrayed properly, if it looks like you were just loitering around, that you did not do anything, and especially with moms on a career break, the breaks could period are pretty large, pretty long, right? So we are talking about 5 years, 10 years of break. What did you do in that 10 years, right? Now, I don't know if anybody would like to participate in this discussion. I want to ask everyone, why are employers even considering females on a career break? Why not straight away go to like India is a huge job market, right? You can actually get anybody with any skill, right? That too without a break. Why should I even consider a person on a break, right? Does anybody have an answer to this? If you guys want to participate, it's absolutely okay. So what happens with career breaks is that they what employers are getting from a person who's been on a career break, especially females, is a lot of maturity, a lot of loyalty, because you are not looking for money at this point. You're looking for a job security. You're looking for a foot in the door, an opportunity. So you don't really care about the money as much as the stability and the opportunity. So you're not going to take an offer and start jumping around, finding new jobs. You'll take the offer and you'll work loyally, right? Secondly, for the employer, the salary benefit is immense, because the most employers would drive a very hard bargain when it comes to salary negotiation, right? Because you're not coming from the market, you are a dormant person who's coming after a break. So market negotiation will not happen. In your case, it'll be a hard bargain, and most likely you will accept. So an employer is getting a mature, a loyal employee, that too at a lesser than market price. So why refuse? Right, this is a huge talent pool that everybody is looking at, and that includes me. We also hire a lot of females on a career break because of the maturity that they bring and the value addition that they bring to the table, right? That too at a lesser salary. So it's a huge positive for me. The only thing I need to know now is, do you have the skill set for the job as well? So if you can just show that you have the skill set, there are plenty of jobs available, right? Now, just a quick fact here. I'm not going to read through all the bullet points, but just the fact number 5, which says that 48% women in India drop out of the workforce. Now, what does this tell you? Now, this is a decimal figure, obviously, but what it tells you is that 48% seats are getting vacant. All right. And those seats are up for grabs. So, those are seats which you can actually fill. And these seats are getting advertised, these seats are getting filled by somebody or the other. So, all you have to do is try to find out where these seats are available and just apply for them, right? And that is how you will get the job. Now there is a report which McKinsey publishes every year, which is called Women in the Workplace, and this is from McKinsey's 2022 report, Women in the Workplace. Here, as you can see in the talent pipeline, male and female population is kind of bifurcated, and as you can move up the hierarchy, the male representation definitely increases to 74%, and the female representation drops down from 48 to 26%. Now, although this is a bad number, the number actually, if you see, the percentage change from 2017 it has increased, and from 2016 this increase is 10%. All right, because I have the 2016 graph as well. What US did in the last 10 years is they increased the representation of females at the C-suite level by 10%, which had a trickling down effect on all the other levels, which meant that essentially in the US, bigger companies have started to hire more females and groom them into leaders. And that once a bigger company in the US starts doing this translates to local companies as well. So a Google US does this, then a Google India does the same, and then of course looking at Google India, the Tech Mahindras and the HCLs also start doing the same things, right? So this has a very positive effect overall. This is another graph from the same report in 2021, which compares females with male managers. And again, as you can see, the female graph is higher. So females have outperformed their male counterparts on a variety of managerial skills. And These are reports which reach the top CHROs and the top managers of bigger organizations. So essentially what happens is that they take decisions after reading reports like these. So the effect is this, right? This is something which was unheard of back in 2022, or rather before 2022, where companies were posting jobs especially for women on a career break. This started actually post COVID, where women on a career break started getting invitation for jobs, exclusively for women on a career break, and companies started running restart programs, right? So SNP, Accenture, they ran very popular restart programs where they were taking women in, uh, grooming them, and then putting them in the right verticals where they belonged. And you could actually change your vertical as well. Plus, you get all the benefits that the companies offer, right? So this is basically the reason for showing you all of this was to tell you that there are opportunities available. Yes, there is a little bit of a slowdown in the market right now. The last 1 year has seen a kind of a silent recession, but at the same time, there is hiring happening parallelly in a referral uh, way. Like if you have the right connects, or if you could actually connect with somebody randomly and share a resume, there are opportunities available, right? And you have to keep looking out for genuine job postings online. So a lot of hiring is happening now. How do you actually find these jobs? How do you actually get back? So this is a 7-step process that we have built over the years, which has landed a lot of females very good opportunities. This step, although it doesn't begin without you asking an introspective question, which is a step zero, which essentially is, are you do you really want a job, or are you just bored? Why this question comes up is because a lot of females who are coming back from a career break just try to find a job out of boredom. They're not really interested. All they want is getting out of the house, or probably just a little bit of independence, right? Which is why they end up updating their resume, shooting it across, and by a stroke of luck they would land an opportunity, right? The problem with this is that everybody forgets that the employer is going to expect you to work as well, right? And that work can take a toll, not on you but on your family, because your kids have not seen you work, right? Your family is not prepared. You probably don't have a support system ready, and eventually what happens is that you take up the job, and instantly regret it, and within 15 days, 1 month, the person resigns. Right now this becomes a second resignation, a second break. Nobody's prepared for it, and you end up losing your confidence once again. So if you are at step zero, the most important thing that you have to understand is that this is very important that you have a support system ready before you take the plunge into finding a job. If you cannot do this, or if you are not ready, or if your family is not ready, and you are still at step zero, please do not take this take this start this journey, because if you actually end up taking a job and resigning within a few days again, it really has a very big and very negative impact on your confidence, and it can really affect the way you find jobs later in the future, right? Now yeah considering everybody is not at step zero, considering everybody has the support system part figured out, we start at step 1. And step 1 is not updating a resume. Step 1 is identifying what kind of jobs are available. Okay. So what I want everybody to do is to create an Excel that looks something like this. All right. Find out jobs which suit your profile, and bifurcate them into your core skill set and your secondary skill set. Right. Now, core skill set are skills that uh, belong to you. That core skill sets are basically the same set of skills that you were portraying in the last job that you had. All right. And secondary skills as set are skills though which you have picked up over the years. Okay, so anything new that you have learned, any new hobby that you have picked up, and you want to translate it into a job. Okay, or any other upskilling program that you have gone into, so that becomes your secondary skill set. So find out jobs which match your core skill set, find out jobs which match your secondary skill set. You might have a third skill set, or you might just have a core skill set. Okay, so that it varies from person to person. Make a list like this, write down all the keywords for this job, write down all the qualifications. This Excel is going to throw a lot of information at you, which you were not aware of. Okay, for example, you will get to know if for the same core skill, in which you have worked for 10 years, are employers now looking at a new qualification? Are they looking for a new certification, or maybe a new, a program, something new, a new tool knowledge, right? So that will give you an idea of whether you should continue your upskilling journey right now, or you should immediately apply for jobs, right? So for example, here, if let's say you have the qualification A and some companies have started asking for a qualification B, so you know that I need to let me get myself upskilled in a qualification B as well, so that I am able to apply for these jobs later on as well, right? Instead of updating your resume. So this is the very first step, the first two steps. The third step is getting your resume ready. So one version for these skills, one version for these skills. All right, this is how you actually make your resume. So step 3 is where you make your resume. The core skill set resume should not have anything about your secondary skill set. The secondary skill set resume can have stuff about your core skill set. Okay, this is how you build the resume. After this, you create a cover letter for every version of the resume, and then you start applying. So this is how basically the application process needs to flow. Of course, after that, you keep updating yourself, keep updating your resume, and based on what interview feedback you're getting, you keep this cycle going. So this is basically the process that I'm talking about. Here I generally take a break, and if anybody wants to ask anything, you have a question related to your own personal journey, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. Guys, no questions. Basically, it just feels like people are kind of disinterested. So nobody has anything to ask here, because the fact that you are in the workshop, I am pretty sure you had some questions. No worries. I'll move on to resumes then. So how do you write a good resume? Cool. So this is how a sample resume, should flow. All right. So it starts with your name, followed by a title. All right. So title can be a small one liner, like less than a one liner, which quickly talks about who you are, and how to identify you. So Kavita Sharma, human resource and operations professional, right? Or Google certified PPC consultant, or a digital marketing expert, right? Or FMCG sales with experience in Unilever and ITC, something like that. So a small phrase which immediately describes your professional skill set. All right, and anything which is catchy enough. So catchy enough could be a brand name, it could be a certification, it could be years of experience, or it could be some kind of award that you've won, right? This followed by a contact information, your phone number, email, your location, as well as your LinkedIn URL. All right. This is then followed by a summary that quickly introduces you to the employer. Five 4 to 5 liner which talks about your journey, your overall skill set, and a one liner about your career break. This is then followed with a skill set, a word cloud that generally is picked up by bots, but this skill set is exactly what you write here. So these are the same keywords that go under skills. All right. This is then followed by the employment history, where all your jobs are listed, starting from the most recent one till the oldest job. This is then followed by education and certifications. Now, in the employment history, your career break also has to be mentioned. You should not skip your career break. Career break, if you skip it, there will be a gap in the resume. Okay, and gaps are not positive. Anybody who notices a gap will eventually give you some kind of negative marks in the resume. Okay, so always make sure that your career break is in the resume. Now, I'll jump on to some sample resumes that I will quickly just go through, and if anybody has a question, you can just ask. So this is Prema's resume. The title at the top: Software Testing Professional, contact details. This followed by a small summary, right? This talks about how she started her career, what her skill sets are, where she has traveled, a one liner about her career break also, and then of course the core competencies which talk about all the skill set that a software testing resume should have, right? These could be picked from job descriptions. This followed by synopsis. Synopsis is just a career, a core competency section, but written in an elaborate way. All right, this is just to increase the density of keywords in the resume. I generally don't recommend this section. Okay, but you can have it depending on how big your resume is getting. Then of course the technical section, because this is a technical profile. This is followed by experience section, where the first experience is career break, maternity, childcare, travel with spouse, and date. So the break part is hidden, and she's clearly mentioned that she was on a career break. Right? This is followed by all the jobs which follow the same pattern: designation, department, company, location, and tenure. Designation, department, company, location, tenure. So in all jobs, the same format is followed. This is then followed by all the job descriptions, right? Written in a bullet point format, right? And every bullet point begins with an action verb: spearheaded, assisted, established, planned, provided, created. So these are action verbs. So they basically make your sentence a little more impactful. So try to use these and try to add some metrics in all the job descriptions. Okay, metrics will make it look like your job was important and you knew the scope and the impact of the work that you were doing. Project should be mentioned only in brief, not elaborately. If you want to elaborate your projects, please create a new annexure document for it, right? This followed by education and certifications. If your certification is recent, it should ideally be mentioned at the top. Personal details are not recommended. Please remember that your resume is a public document. The moment it goes to a job portal, anybody can download it. So please don't write your date of birth, your nationality, your husband's name, your passport number. All of those things are not required. Okay, don't write an what do you call that, declaration also. It is not required in the resume. Okay. So this is the first resume. I hope it made sense. This is the second resume. Everything is similar in this resume. The only difference is that there is no career break. You will not find a career break in this. The reason is that the person whose resume I'm showing you, she hid her career break behind this fake employment. So this fake employment happens to be her family business. So I'm showing you this because this is also a way to hide your career break. Like you can just produce documents if you have a family business and hide your career gap. All right, not an ethical way, but I mean, this is a way that some people use. And because the employment is in your control, you can actually create a designation and you can just write your deliverables also properly. So that ways, it aligns with the role that you're seeking. So yeah, so just wanted to show you this version as well. This is the third resume. Again, the same thing. The only difference is that during her maternity, she continued a freelancing work. So she has clubbed her maternity break with freelancing. So this section. All right. So essentially, she's shown continuity in employment rather than a break period, complete break period, which is what a lot of people generally do as well. Now, after that, I'll show you another resume. So this is the resume of Sanjana. So here what has happened is, the person, she worked for 10 years from 1993 to 2002, and then she took a break for 10 years again. So from 2003 to 2013 she was on a break. Then she enrolled in an MBA from Sikkim Manipal University, which you can find here, and she completed her MBA in 2014. In between, she did a HR internship in GE Healthcare as well. All right, this was a 2 month internship. But after MBA, she again did not find a job. Okay, so what she started doing was freelancing. She started working as a freelance volunteer for jobs for her for an NGO as well, and she was also the executive council in her society and all. So she was doing all of those works, and then of course she was working as a content writer also parallelly. So I'm trying to tell you that sometimes we don't find jobs immediately. So in that case, the best way forward is to do some kind of freelancing or voluntary work. And in 2017 she enrolled in another EPHRM course from IIM Calcutta. This was a more reputed course, so obviously the logic was that no, maybe the regular MBA or the distance learning MBA did not find her takers. So she did this, after which she landed an opportunity also. So the rest of the resume is again similar. There is a title followed by a summary, which is followed by a skill set section and the synopsis, and then the just a little bit about personality traits. This resume, the next one is a little tricky. In this resume, there are two career breaks and a change in the career focus also. So here, Shravani, she passed out with her MBA in HR, started working as an HR. Then she took a career break, moved to the US after marriage. Then she took another career break for maternity, and then she, restarted her career, and she moved back to India as a HR consultant with Volvo, where she was working when she got this resume done. But she wanted to move into a BA capacity, BA role. So what we did was we changed her resume to accommodate both the areas, but we created new sections. So one section we created for relevant work experience, and another section for other professional experience. In the other professional experience, we put all her career breaks and her HR work together. Okay, and we put this on the second page so that this did not get the attention that it otherwise would have got. So all the career breaks are now gone, and all the HR work is now in the other section. We took one of her jobs, where she was working as a TQ admin, which is essentially an HR role, but we converted this into a business analyst role. So we added BA slash TQ admin on our own, and the rest of the JD, we kind of tweaked it to show that she was working as a TQ admin plus with BA responsibilities. But this was not a recent job. This was a job in the past. So there was still a problem. She did not have a recent opportunity. So she uh, basically connected with with a business and started freelancing as a BA for the business. Obviously, on the condition that they would give her a certificate or something, right? Which is what she got. So now she had a continuity in employment also, and this was a recent employment. So based on this, we got this resume created, and of course, she found a job as well. So these are certain ways, that I wanted to show you how your career break can be shown in the resume, and how you can also structure not just your resume but also your career journeys accordingly. So I'll move back to the presentation. So these are some action verbs that you can use, and soft skills. Now soft skills, if you are using, please keep them in the ratio of 20 to 80%. So 20% soft skills, 80% core skills, hard skills. Okay. Now at this point, I will also introduce you to ResumeMod, guys, because ResumeMod has a lot of free tools. Is my screen visible? I am on ResumeMod's website.
Yes, visible.
Great. Okay. Finally, I hear somebody's voice. So, uh, this is ResumeMod's homepage, and there are a lot of features. So I'll you can just go through the website later on. So these are some of the templates that we have, and you can actually get your resume created in any of these at the click of a button. I'm going to just quickly show you two pages which can be of use. So one is resume samples. We have more than 600 resumes here. all bifurcated according to various categories like your functional areas or your qualification. So if you click on anything like, let's say, sales and business development, you get all the resumes which are related to sales. Plus, if you can sort them by popular or latest. So all the resumes which are of sales, you can get them listed here, right? So if you open any of the resumes, it'll show you the resume as well, right? Plus all the content of this resume will be just below this. So the entire summary, everything is mentioned here. Plus similar resumes, you can actually browse through similar resumes here as well. Cool. So there is one resume which I want to show all of you here, which is of a career break professional only. This. So this is Sonali Gupta. The resume is that of a SAP BI consultant, and she took a break. And after break, uh, she created this resume. So what she's done is, she continued her education during the break period. Education in the sense that those certifications and upskilling programs. And the entire resume she is structured in a way that the focus is on SAP and not on the maternity break. So if you look at it, she created this section which is called career break plus skill enhancement, but she doesn't talk about career break in the beginning. Career break is here, all right. But in the beginning, what she's talking about is the module knowledge and the courses that she continued learning, uh, as far as SAP is concerned. So the entire resume, if you look at it, is focused on SAP, SAP SCM Professional, you know, SAP graduate certificate in SAP, then skills are SAP related, courses in SAP, then career break, again talking about SAP, and then employment history, obviously SAP. So one of the few professionals, people who got a job after a career break within like 15 days, right? So a great example of how your resume, can actually make you look like very skillful while showing that you have the maturity and loyalty also. So this is a resume that all of you should look at, and it can actually land you great results. So you can go through this, and obviously there is a lot of you can search for something as well. So let's say you are a teacher or something, you want to look for resumes for teachers, so you can just click on any of these and get a resume sample. All right. So this is one part. The other part is the career blog. So we have a very exhaustive career blog. Like there are ebooks, uh, how to quantify resume bullets. An entire list of how can you create something. So how to write a winning resume summary. So there are summary examples. Resume summary examples for different kind of profiles. And there could be a video here or there are three ebooks that we have here. So one ebook is for freshers, one ebook is for career break, and there is another third ebook which is for product managers. So they're all free to download, so you can actually check them. A lot of stuff here. You can also search for blogs, right, for anything related to career advice or career break, how to become a career counselor, 24 resume writing. So anything, lot of stuff. If you're looking for a new career, we have this section as well, how to, which we have started recently. So how to actually get into a new career, right? So yeah, a lot of stuff here. Uh, Other than this, I also want to show you how Resumod works, right? So this is Resumod's platform. So if you click on any of these buttons here, my account or create a similar resume, you land up on the dashboard where you can create a new resume, or you can upload your existing resume also, and it'll take all the content from the existing resume and put it in the builder here, right? Once you have content in the builder, you can actually use our AI assistant to add more stuff. So just add the keywords or your designation here. It'll pick up all the keywords and it'll suggest you resume bullet points. You can just, click on this and add the bullet point here. So let's say I've just clicked here and see this bullet point got added, right? And it starts to show. You can also use ChatGPT, which is a premium feature. So the bullet that I added drove communication. It has now appeared here. You can also score your resume for a job description. Sorry, guys. So you can also check your resume score here. So if you add a JD from the internet or anywhere and just click on this, this will give you a score and detailed analysis of how your resume is faring for in all these areas. And it actually tells you everything, where the summary is lacking and what all is happening. All right. So yeah, I mean, a great tool. And then of course, you can change the template of the resume at the click of a button. So let's say you like some other format. So you want to put your resume in this format. So just click here and you can change the colors as well. You can rearrange any of the sections also. So let's say you want the skill section at the top, or after the employment history, all that can be done here. And this is how the resume looks. And then of course you can download the PDF file of this at the click of a button. So you can also generate interview question and answers for this same resume that you've created. Great. So I'll move back to the presentation. I hope you've no questions here.
Uh, Rajit, I was looking for the website and the sample you showed before.
Hmm.
Can, yes, the career break one, right?
Hmm.
So, as you showed that we can pull our resume and it will, the data will be populated in this template, right?
It will be
The template.
populated in the builder. You can change the template anytime. This
Okay.
template is this. I'll just show it to you. So the data will be pulled in and you can change the template. So this template is uh, okay. Where is that template? Just give me a second.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
okay. This is all right. All right. Yep. This is the template, and
Okay.
yeah, only there's a difference in the color. I'll just change the color. Yep. This is that template, right?
Okay. Okay. So it will just we have to take the template and populate the and upload our resume to get the
Yeah,
data.
yeah. Exactly. It'll just take all the data, and then of course you can just enhance it using AI.
Okay.
Right? Even in individual sections, there is this button, rewrite with AI. So this entire section you can just rewrite. If you click on this, the entire section would be rewritten. And this button you will find in employment history also. Okay, so
Okay.
everywhere this button is available, so you can just rewrite the entire section.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Got that. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I'll move out of the builder. I'll go back to the presentation. So, resume writing do's and don'ts. So I've already covered the do's. I'll quickly just talk about the don'ts. So, it is not necessary to paste a photograph, guys. So a lot of us are confused about photographs. So photograph is not necessary. You don't have to paste a photograph unless you are applying for jobs which require you in a front-facing role, where you are the face of a business. For example, in hospitality, or as a cabin crew professional. So unless that is the case, a photograph can be left out. Don't go beyond 2 pages. Don't write a lengthy resume. Okay, make sure that it is 2 pages or less. Don't mention your personal details and declaration. Please name your file properly, and make sure that you don't talk too much about hobbies. Now hobbies is a problem area, because if an employer asks about specific questions about the hobby and you're not able to answer, then it leaves a very bad impression. Okay, so talk about hobbies only about things if you are really passionate and you know everything about that hobby. Otherwise, just try to keep it out, right? And don't write long paragraphs or first person language. uh that's basically everything about resumes that I had to tell you. So, you know, just a few tips. So, always mention the most important information at the top, and always have a link to your LinkedIn profile or a video resume or anything at the top. Okay. Uh, and again, different job, different resume. We already spoken about it. So, yeah, that's basically everything. Now, I'll quickly just touch upon cover letter as well. So cover letter essentially is a handshake document. Okay, remember this. Cover letter's job is to introduce you to a person, and make them open your resume. So remember that resume is supposed to be an attachment, and cover letter is the message. Okay, so think about it like, you are in a party and you are meeting somebody and you want to give them your visiting card or give them your resume. So you will not just go to them and give them the resume, right? You will first shake their hand, give them an introduction, and then tell them that, okay, boss, this is my resume. Why don't you take a look? So it's the same thing over email and LinkedIn as well. So you cannot just send them a file, right? You have to give them an introduction. So that introduction is the cover note. The introduction also is the same thing which becomes the body of the email also. Okay. So this is how a cover note should ideally be. I mean, this is a longer version. Ideally your cover note should be very small, maybe one paragraph, two paragraphs in case of emails, and a one small paragraph in case of LinkedIn and WhatsApp. So you can just take cues from here and work on your cover letters. So moving on to LinkedIn's. So guys, everybody I'm sure is on LinkedIn. You should be on LinkedIn ideally, not just because of the job opportunities, but LinkedIn also acts as a validation tool. So if you are on LinkedIn and you have applied to jobs, HR generally would come in and check, if you are there, if you are a legit person, who you are connected with and all that. And of course, it helps you build a brand as well. So essentially, LinkedIn profile is derived from your resume only. Few things that change are, it gives you more space to write a bigger headline, more space to create a bigger summary, and there is no option to write bullet points. So you have to write paragraphs, right? So everything in from your resume goes into a paragraph form in LinkedIn. You can use personal pronouns, you can write long paragraphs, and in your summary also you can use personal stories if you want to. Good thing about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is not read by bots. It is essentially read by humans only. Okay, because LinkedIn essentially doesn't allow bots. So you can actually be a little personal and add a personal touch to your LinkedIn summary, especially because people do read LinkedIn summaries. Then, of course, it gives you a section for career break also, which it uses to identify career break details, or rather, give you career break job suggestions, right? One more thing that changes is that on LinkedIn, photograph is a must. So always make sure that you add a photograph on LinkedIn, right? So that's basically it. Now, just recalling everything that I've spoken. uh, you have to be very sure that you want to rejoin, right? Remember that step zero that I spoke about. Don't join in a haste just to get out of the house and all that stuff, right? Don't do that. Be very sure that you want to rejoin, have a support system ready, and don't start with your resume. Start with finding your jobs and then frame the resume accordingly, right? If you have to upskill, then take some more time and upskill, and be very confident. Be honest in the resume. If you don't lie, if you are not confident about something, you can hide it, but don't lie in the resume. And then of course, utilize the power of LinkedIn and the new job portals that are coming up, right? So that's basically everything that I had to say. Since nobody asked questions earlier, again, if you have anything you want to ask, please feel free to ask now. Anything related to your own journey, anything related to your resume. I mean, I won't be able to check a resume, but yeah, anything that you want to ask, please feel free.
Hi Rajat, I want to ask one simple question. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, so I had joined a little late, so I couldn't get like which
you couldn't
format
get
we
what?
need to use to create resume. I couldn't get which platform you're using to create the resume by uploading the details.
Resume.
So you were typing some details and it was generating the automatic resume format, right?
I've given the details in the chat.
Sorry, couldn't get you.
Arpana, I spoke about resume out 15 minutes back only. So you are saying you joined late, like you joined just now?
Like I couldn't hear few things when I joined because there was some network issue.
The website name is resumod.co. I've
Okay,
mentioned it in
thank
the chat. Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you for that.
Anybody else, guys?
Hi Rajat, good afternoon. This is
Hi, good
Parvati.
afternoon. Yeah.
As you shown the platform resume mod, so can we download the resume free or is it chargeable?
So on resumod, I'll just show you. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
This template is free of cost. All right. You can download your resume in this template any number of times. You can also change your, like, you can customize this template as well. Okay.
Okay.
It can actually look very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you can change the colors also, again, to suit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you can download this any number of times. Okay. But if you want to use any other template, all of them
Mm-hmm.
are paid. But the
Yes.
cost is very low. Like it's like 99 rupees for the premium plan. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Rajat.
Yeah. Pallavi, resume sample for experience. Pallavi, you can go to resume or sample resumes and search for it. You'll easily find that. I'll just share the link here. You can just search for resume developer, right? You can just write software engineer there and you'll find a few resumes. Software developer is also there. You'll find all those resumes there and you can actually just check them. I'm just pasting one link here as well. Guys, try to make your resume, in any template, obviously. Uh, Whether on Resume or whether on MS Word, doesn't matter. Just try to keep the pointers that I told you in mind, so that like, don't miss out on those details, and make sure that your resume is tailored for a set of jobs. Okay, not every job, but if you are, let's say, applying for software developer, then the resume for software developers should be the same. Okay, it should not have information about the second hobby that you are trying to apply for jobs in. Okay. Great, guys, then I'll take your leave if there are no more questions. Wish you all the best in your job finding journey. I hope you all find good jobs. Swati, can I
Hello.
take your leave? Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Rajat. It's good morning. Good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh, I just want to know, like, if someone like me, just earlier he was really like code development team, and after that he took some career break and joined some, some in teaching profession, and after that again he wanted to just go back to it's like an IT job. So that teaching profession will be count as career break or something like that, or that will be used like some experience, some sort of experience.
So see, if you've already got another IT job, then you can mention the teaching job there. It won't make a difference. But if you've not got another job, if you want to apply for IT again, then the teaching will
Mm.
create a little bit of a problem. What is
Okay.
your status right now? Like, have
So
you
I mean,
got a job?
no, no, no. I mean, like till now, it's going on, but again, like I'm sort of searching opportunity. So there in resume, I mentioned that as teaching is like in experience. Even I want to know, like, I can how could I mention that experience? Like from past 1 years, I was in teaching job, and
Teaching is
again,
not
I'm just
related to
looking for
software development. No, teaching is a theoretical thing. It's not
yeah.
related to software development. So
So
nobody
that will
will
be mentioned career gap.
see. You can mention it. It is not going to be counted. Eventually, somebody will
Okay.
reject your resume also, because they'll see the resume. They'll say, "Arey, this is a teacher's rejected." See, understand that at the junior level, recruiters will not spend too much time analyzing the resume. They'll just see it and they'll either select it or
Okay.
reject it. That's what they'll do. Understand?
Yes,
So
yes.
teaching should not be there. Like, in my opinion, you should not have teaching there. You should remove teaching from there, and like, keep it in a separate profile.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much, Rajat, for this wonderful session and insightful also. So, ladies, we have also posted all the links shared by Rajat on the WhatsApp group. So, please go through all the links. Thank you, ladies, for joining in the session. And you will
Great.
have your next
Thank you
session
so
on
much.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Wish you all the best.